G'day guys, my name's Ben and today's video is going to be looking at the Chainmail Coif. So chainmail is obviously a very old type of armour. We believe it goes back as much as 5,000 years and was first invented somewhere in the Middle East, somewhere in the sort of Persian regions. We don't know exactly where and we don't know whom by, but those are the sort of historical examples that seem to be appearing. Okay, so when we're wearing chainmail, Hollywood often gets it terribly wrong and depicts people wearing chainmail straight over their skin, which would not have been accurate at all. The first thing that you'd need to wear in terms of any kind of armour would be a padded coif. These would be worn relatively tight, and these would protect the body, particularly the head, from any kind of impact blows and percussion blows that would be sustained from a mace or even a sword, but particularly like blunt axes and those kind of things, which would be quite feasible on the battlefield. And a percussive force or a strike to the head would disorientate someone for a few seconds, and that may well be enough time to disarm your opponent and then either kill them or capture them, clearly depending on who they were. A coif like this is not terrible, but it's not particularly great either. As you can see, there's a bit of a gap here, which is very unlikely to be terribly historically accurate until much later in the medieval period. We do believe that there were types of these, but they were mainly worn under barbitute helmets and that kind of thing. So we're talking sort of 14th, 15th century and beyond. Not in the earlier medieval period. Very likely that genuine medieval coifs from the period would have actually had a piece like this that would come up and be able to cover your face and protect you from blows upward. So one or two percussive blows on my head from an opponent's sword and I am pretty much out of the game. It's going to be disorientate me. I'm going to be doing these ones and I'm opening myself up for an attack. If an opponent wants to get rid of me, then a slashing blow under here is going to leave me out of the game completely. So a slashing blow, it's going to leave me worrying about the blood flow and all of that kind of thing, at which point I would be taking my helmet off, and that is a good indicator that I'm out of the game and I'm no longer a threat to you. And that is also historically accurate if you look at much of the artwork from the period. Okay, so I do like these coifs. These cover my shoulder quite a bit. This is an added layer of protection to my shoulders, which was a big vulnerable point. It has the face mask, which is also a very accurate and also very important. So if I'm wearing a nasal helm, which would have been common right through the whole medieval period, or one of the bigger helms even with a face shield, this is still accurate because this is still providing that extra layer of protection across my face. Points to note though is that coifs didn't come in until much later in the period than most people tend to think they did. A lot of people think that coifs came in even sort of Norman times, when this is in fact not accurate. Coifs didn't really come in until sort of the as in a separate coif from the chainmail shirt that you may be wearing. So these sorts of coifs tended to come in from around about the mid-12th and more particularly the 13th century, which were detached from your actual shirt itself. Okay, there we go. So a couple of very interesting and important points about coifs there. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe and share, and I'll catch you in my next video.